Poshboss reselling content. Hello everybody and welcome back for another video. It's Blake, aka PoshBossBlake, and welcome back to my channel. Oh yeah. Hi, welcome. It's Friday. Hi. You're probably like, where's your lunch? Right. Well, for those who are new here, hi, hello, welcome. This is my Friday lunch with me's. I usually sit down, have lunch, dinner, a meal, and we chat. I answer your questions, reselling, not reselling. That might be changing. Stay tuned. I wanted to say hello to my returning subscribers. Welcome back. I see you. I see you. Back to my lunch. My meal delivery kit did not come yet. And by the time I'm filming this, it still hasn't come. So we're going to skip dinner tonight, video-wise. It's going to be a late night delivery for UPS, so that's okay. I don't have any snacks either, so really just waiting on this dinner. Ya boy's hungry. But anyway, I did want to share, last week really got me thinking about my channel and my goals long term. So that said, when I realized that my schedule's all sorts of funky with, lunch with me now turning into just a meal with me, it made me think bigger things. And I am happy to share with you guys that the big announcement, get ready, oh, I'm so excited, is I now have a second YouTube channel. Oh my god! Oh, woo! People screaming in the background, woo! Okay, so you're probably like, what is this YouTube channel? So first of all, please go subscribe. It will be linked in the bio. The channel name is called, get ready, Blake Does Things. It's nothing like, spectacular, but the things I'll be doing will be, and they'll be more personal to me as a human being. I realized that as this channel, PoshBossBlake, continues to grow, I realized the audience that is really loving the content around reselling, and I love that. I love that. So I don't want to interject all the non-reselling stuff amongst all the reselling stuff, because, not everyone's here for that, and I get that. But I want to be a little bit more creative and a little bit less not reselling. No reselling will be on my other channel. So it'll be all about me. It'll be all my product reviews, all my cooking, all my Weight Watchers, all the other stuff. So for now, that's what's gonna happen. And for next week, my lunch with me, my meal with me, we'll actually do a part 2 to this video. So if you're watching this in the future, I'll link it up here if I remember. And part 2 will be all the questions I received, which, by the way, you guys came through with the questions on Monday's video. You guys crushed it. Thank you so much. Some of them were reselling, some of them were personal. So we're gonna save the super personal ones for that video. So stay tuned for next Friday. That will be on my new channel, Blake Does Things. Link in the description. Please go subscribe. Thank you so much. But for today's video, I will dive into all the questions that I deemed I wanted to answer in this particular video. Hope you all are along for the ride, and it will be very exciting. I think you'll be able to see a little bit of a different side of me because I do things other than reselling. And I know people want to know about it, and I want to talk about it, but I know where the audience is, what the audience is looking for when it comes to reselling. So that said, go subscribe, and everything social-wise will still remain PoshBossBlake. I feel like my feed blends a good amount of reselling and just life-ish, so that will stay the same, just 2 separate channels, and you can get everything reselling related here for the most part. Okay, so let's get into the questions. We got a bunch. Again, thank you guys so much. Let's start off with Granny Glasses Goodies. How are you keeping yourself busy and sane? A great question. I actually got 2 or 3 questions similar to this. How am I keeping myself busy? Well, if you didn't catch Monday's video or last week's video, I can't remember. I am working again, so I'm off furlough. So Monday through Friday, I have my traditional work hours. Still working from home, but at least I have like business hour structure Monday through Friday. In terms of staying busy, like this is a challenge because I get very cooped up in my apartment because it's so small and I'm not going anywhere in the day, really, Monday through Friday now, to do anything. And because of that, I try to make it a point to go do stuff at night within reason, like a walk, do stuff at night, a walk, or sometimes a drive. Sometimes I just like, I need to feel like wind on my face and like know what the temperature in the earth feels like outside of my apartment. I just had a deja vu moment. Oh my gosh, that is weird. But, you know, staying busy is, you know, I don't know that I have the answer. I'm trying to be creative. I think providing and creating content or showing what I am doing, you know, when I'm not reselling is going to be exciting for me. It is exciting for me already. Been stocking up on the content. So I think you'll be able to see like a different aspect, which is exciting for me to think about you guys witnessing. And then sane, talking to my friends. If you guys don't already know, I like obviously have friends. Hopefully you do too. But I've really been able to lean on my reselling friends while this whole quarantine thing has been going on, and particularly the crew that I do my Saturday Night Live with, my reseller Saturday Night Live. We've been doing it every Saturday. It started off as like a let's try it and do, you know, once a channel, and then it's been months now we've done it, and it's been really good. We consistently connect with each other for at least 2 hours at this point on live, and then after that it continues. The party continues after the broadcast ends, and we talk for like 2 more hours sometimes longer, depending on like what we're talking about, or if people, a lot of my friends there are night owls, so you know, they're comfortable staying up late and chit-chatting and doing all these things and whatnot. But it's been really nice to be able to get closer to them in this scenario. So that's been really keeping me sane. But the thing that is annoying, and tell me if you feel this way, you guys, and this again depends on where you live, but like when people ask, hey, how are you? Like, I'm not great. Like, I'm not. But also, nothing new, you know? Like, there's nothing else to talk about. So, you know, trying to figure out how to, I guess, like, get a little less depressed. I think something that's also come up, and I'm going to go on a tangent here for a hot second, is where we live in LA, we're probably going to be one of the last people to, like, reopen in some capacity. And although things are starting to open up, it's an interesting time because I can see all the people I follow on Instagram and social media and the news, like going back, in some states going back to like nothing's happening, but also just really going out there and about. And it makes me anxious because I feel like I'm living in a different time. And, you know, we're living in different restrictions, and I don't know, it's a weird thing to know that this is going on, the thing that's going on in the world. But like some people are like living their everyday life, and like people are having people over and like doing this and that. And the challenge we have here in LA is that it's just so dense. So even though things are open, I don't feel comfortable going to do things out in the open because people are not wearing masks and people are not protecting themselves, and it's just, that gives me anxiety. So, you know, I don't know. That was kind of like a downhill mood moment, but I just want to be real because I just don't know how to feel about that. I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to research like a park or maybe like a national park or something. Maybe not national park, but a amount of land that is less populated and not touristy by any means, so that I can go out and be out in nature in the next coming weekends, because this whole not being able to like even go on a hike is nuts. And for those who live in LA, they're opening Runyon Canyon again, limited capacity. They're hiring staff to monitor the people going in and out. But again, people just like don't get it. So we'll end it there with that. And I guess it's a daily thing. I do think I'll be getting, talking about mental health, I do think I'll be getting back into therapy at some point. The thing that I struggle with is I am a very extroverted person, and I have not had like people contact in a very long time, months, like going on 3 months, and I haven't had a physical touch in a very long time. Handshakes, hugs, it's very bizarre, and I think now I'm realizing it's affecting me. So I just want to keep that real with you guys. But let's perk this back up a little bit and we'll move on. Thank you so much for the questions, Granny Glasses Goodies. Love that name. Okay, next, Chrissy B. Hey girl. When you moved to LA, what was the biggest surprise to you about LA? Have you ever wandered down Rodeo Drive? So, yeah. So I visited LA before I moved here. So, the biggest thing that I was like shocked by is how widespread it is. The best way to compare it is New York. In New York, you can get to everywhere via subway, taxi, Uber, everything, right? And it's all within like a reasonable amount of distance. In LA, everything is so spread out, and then, you know, add traffic onto that. It can be, you know, it could take so much time to get somewhere. And, you know, people joke about long distance relationships, and it's like, oh, I live in West Hollywood. Where are you? Long Beach. Okay, that's not compatible. But like on a map, it should be a 20-minute drive. Like it should be not a thing, but it's not. Like it's much longer to do that. So people consider it long distance because it can be, you know, exhausting to, you know, if you're just trying to have a cute little dinner date, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours just to get there and back. I don't know. I'm exaggerating. Long Beach, bad example, but you know, you get the vibe. So things are very spread out, and like shows like the Kardashians and shows that have like aerial shots of LA. What people don't realize is like where the Kardashians live isn't in LA. I've talked about this on my channel before, but also it's so far. Like the beach right now, to get to the beach, it would take me 45 minutes on a good day. I wonder what it would take right now because there's no traffic. Well, that's a lie. There is some traffic. Things are getting back trafficy. But anyway, and then have you ever wandered down Rodeo Drive? Yes, I've wandered. That's something that surprised me. LA, like when you come to visit LA, and if you're ever thinking about visiting, these are my recommendations. Come with an idea of like what type of experience you want your trip to be. Do you want more of like a beachy vacation, or do you want more of like a touristy, hiking, active vacation? And I say that because places like Rodeo and like the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I don't know why I did that because that's real. Those attractions, those things take very, very, very minimal time, unlike New York City, where you could spend, you know, all day or, you know, whatever. Like Rodeo Drive is like this big, and you walk down, you walk back, and you probably can't afford anything, or if you can, it's like a quick in and out, and like it's this big, right? Same thing with Hollywood Walk of Fame. Like there's the big souvenir shop, the Chinese theater, you can see the stars, and then you're like, okay, there's like nothing to do, which is weird. You can shop a little bit, but like if you were like, oh, I want to be a tourist, I wouldn't go there. If you wanted to like be there all day, you could only be there for like an hour. So also at the same time, those places are away from the beach, so to squeeze everything in a day is like sometimes a challenge, depending on what beach you're going to, what attraction you're trying to see, if you're trying to hike, what time of year it is, so you can get, you know, everything in the light. People really want to see sunsets, what, you know, things like that. So it's really kind of like you need to map it out. And I like when people visit to, sorry, my muscle is hurting. I like for people to tell me, you know, do you want to get beachy, surf or tan, or do you want to hikey, shoppy, eat, you know? Because it'll like help, you know, are we spending the day at the beach? You know, it'll affect how you dress and how you like, you know, think about the trip. Also, like, if you want a beachy trip, and you really want to be at the beach all the time, like let's go get an Airbnb, myself included. Let's go get an Airbnb for like 2 nights and we'll just stay on the beach and like be on the beach, you know, but we're not gonna go see LA per se. So I'm rambling about that, but those are my recommendations. Like tell your friends like, oh, I wanna do a beachy vacay, or I wanna do like activities. That's up. Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much. Next question, the Smart Shoppers Club. Are you a singer? What genres do you like? What do you like to do for fun as hobbies? Ooh, bunch of questions. Am I a singer? Excuse me. Yes. Yep. What genres do you like? I can answer this better with like what I don't like. I don't like country, which I don't think will shock anyone, with the exception of Casey Musgraves, but kind of rides the line of like Taylor Swift merging over. Like the songs I like from Casey are more pop vibes. Although Lonely Hours, like, oh my god. Or Golden Hour, oh, see, you know, I'm a bad fan. But I know she stands people like me, so we love Casey. And then, what do you like to do for fun as hobbies? I love to go hiking. I like to be in the water, so like kayaking, swimming, preferably freshwater. If you know this about me, I actually don't like to go into the ocean. Not because I don't like the ocean, I just don't like it's like a whole process to go to the ocean. You gotta lather up, then you go in the water, then you get salt watery, and then you gotta re-lather, and you're just all sorts of exfoliating and like sticking, icky. That's why I probably won't ever live on the beach. Okay. And then hobbies. Well, my hobbies have kind of turned into like business ventures. Like, I didn't think YouTube would be a business per se, but it's like the amount of time you have to spend doing the thing, it's like warranting calling it a business because I'm investing time in it. But I would say like reselling, although that's my side hustle and I really love that, that's still my hobby, you know? I just make money from it. And I feel like if you can do that, that's great. I think a goal for anyone is to love what you do, and if you can make money from that, that's even better. I think I found that with reselling in a part-time capacity, so we love that. What else do I like to do? Catch up with friends, like, you know, especially in LA, people who work in different careers. You know, your schedules are all sorts of funked up. I did not swear, I said funked up. So, you know, getting together for a dinner and like really catching up, or like going to each other's places to chillax. I don't say chillax. Why did I say that? To chill, hang out, is really nice. So that's wonderful. And taking pictures. I love taking pictures. I have a DSLR. In New York, I went for like an edgier vibe. I really liked to take photos of things and not people, and transform what I was taking a photo of into something that would like not be like, oh, that's a leaf. Like, I want you to look at the leaf and be like, wow, look at the veins in the leaf. Look, you know, look at the dirt on the ground kind of pictures. Close up, you know, landscapes, things like that. I loved black and white. I went through a black and white phase, so love that. Okay, next up, thank you so much. Kimber Smith, what is your full-time job? Not the company, but what do you do? Where is your favorite place to travel? Great questions. Okay, so my full-time job that I'm currently temporarily back at is office and culture manager. Right now, what I'm doing is not so much managing an office because, you know, we have offices in New York and LA, and we're all working from home. So those aspects are not there at this time. So I've kind of shifted, and just for privacy's sake, I have taken on some other more administrative things. So that's what's going on. What else? That doesn't really answer the question for like what like going in depth more. Like, it would be managing the employees, like checking in with them, seeing how they're doing, celebrating birthdays, celebrating milestones for the company, celebrating wins for our clients, or for the coverage we've gotten for our clients. You know, managing payments, making sure everything's being paid, making sure everything has the correct credit card, things like that. You know, administrative officey things. But, you know, the fun aspect was, you know, connecting with the people, which I really miss in person. So that's that. What else do I do? What's your favorite place to travel? So I love traveling anywhere, preferably outside of the country, and I love going to visit my uncle in England. So I guess England, because I've had a bunch of fun there. That and maybe like France, because I've also traveled there a bunch, and it's beautiful. Not necessarily Paris. I like maybe like the south of France, like not touristy France. That's what I love. So yeah. Great questions. Okay. Forever Funky. What brought you from New York to California? Is your mama in New York? Yes, mama is in New York. She will be for a while. I think in the future, maybe like 10-year plan, I don't think that will be the case. Hopefully she'll be closer to me where it's warmer but not humid. So like Florida's out of the question. Just so don't get your hopes up. So yeah, mom's still in New York. And what brought me from New York to California? Change of pace, not restart life, but I was working in a job that in an industry that I was just not loving, and the tasks I were doing were meaningless, and it was attached to money. So of course everything's like, oh my God, it's so important, but like it's not. So that just didn't vibe with me, and I just had more personality than sitting at a desk typing into Excel, figuring out how many commercials we can get on TV. Like I want to be the commercial, you know? So that was just not the right fit. And also I just didn't like the lifestyle New York provided. Like it was just always such a big deal to like do something. I lived in a 5th floor walk-up, a 6th floor walk-up on the 4th floor. Lies. It was a 5 floor walk-up. Yes, a 1 floor less, or else they would have to put in an elevator. But I was on like the toppest floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. But they were also like giant staircases. It was nuts. And so coming home from that, my most recent apartment anyway, was like the most exhausting experience. And I'll never forget having to move. I packed everything into suitcases, 4 suitcases, 3 full suitcases, 1 carry-on, 1 other carry-on. So it was bringing that downstairs. Oh my God, never again. Like it was so heavy. I mean, I didn't move anything other than like, if it couldn't fit in the suitcase, I didn't take it. I didn't mail anything. That was it. So that was a lot. And it's just, you want to do something? Okay. You want to go for a hike? Okay, well now you got to take the subway. You got to take to the train. You got to take the train upstate. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry, my neighbor was just talking on the phone. It was just so much to go do everything. And when I talk about like, oh, you want to go for a hike, you want to go like walk out in nature, not buildings, you really had to like go upstate or to someplace in Long Island. But it all involved just like not being able to, at your own will, go do these things. Well, within reason, and if you could afford to like expend I would call it extra money to be able to do these things. Whereas now I have the lifestyle where if I want to go do something right now, current circumstances aside, I could get in my car and go do it. You know, I didn't have to wait for someone or something or some form of transportation, which is a privilege. And I'm very happy that I have that privilege to have this transportation for myself. So, that was a really huge life change that I needed. I wanted a quality of life change. I was like not mentally like in it anymore. I was miserable, honestly. I was at like almost my heaviest. Oh my gosh, that was nuts. And yeah, that was that. Okay. Hope that answered that. It took me a while to find my groove when I first got here, but you know, story for another day. Which, by the way, don't forget, part 2 will be more personal questions on my new YouTube channel, Blake Does Things, which I will link in the description. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna say it one more time at the end of the video. So thank you, Forever Funky. Next up, City Girl Scores. Do you have family near you, and how did you get started reselling? No, I have no family near me. Everyone's on the East Coast or in England. And when I was planning to move, there's a couple of members in the family that are very like, we're never going to move back home. Like, my hometown is not where I will live a life, which is why I left. I've wanted to leave since I was 14, so I absolutely did. That said, it's always been known in the family, like, no one is shocked that I live across the country. You know what I'm saying? No one was shocked when I moved to New York City. Of course, I miss my mom, and she's my best friend, and we talk all the time, every single day, multiple times a day. But I think right now during quarantine, I do wish I was home, but I, at the same time, don't want to go home because I don't want to put people in danger, and we can't really, I can't really self-quarantine where I would go. Like, I can't self-quarantine in the house, and I don't want to get my grandma sick, or my grandpa, who is, got some stuff going on. So, not trying to get everyone sick, which sucks, but I will say that it does get lonely. Like, it does get lonely in that aspect here. There's, chosen family, of course, but it's not the same. Especially when you're like, if you're depressed or if you're like going through something, there's just, the hug of a mom, If you're a parent, I'm sure you get it. So I miss my mom. I miss my mom. And then how did I get started reselling? I've been reselling unknowingly since 2004 on eBay. It was a way for me to get fake designer items / the newest cell phones, because I grew up right as cell phones were starting to pop up when I was in 7th grade. So to get the latest and greatest, I would flip them on eBay. And then present day, I tried downloading Poshmark in 2015. Didn't care to figure out how to use the app, and I was like, no. So I deleted it. And then June 2018, when I had a pair of helmet-laying jeans, brand new with tags, that I bought for myself that I ended up never wearing, I was like, let me try to make some money. I did. And I was like, oh, let's try to make this a thing. And that kind of spiraled it. And the whole point was to start to alleviate some student loan tension, which I've been doing that ever since, and it's been incredible. And it's been 2 years, June 18th. Or June 16th. I have to look at the specific date of my first sale for myself. So that's so exciting. 2 years. So that's great. Okay. Next question. Dresden Avenue. I'd love to hear more about your dance background. That's a great question for part 2 on my other channel. Link in bio, or link in the description to subscribe. I will talk about this one though. Barbara Weatherman. At what age do you plan to retire, if ever? And I will answer the second part of that 2-part question in my next video. I honestly, until you put this question, like, the thought of retiring is not something that comes across my mind. Like, other than contributing to my 401k, I don't think about retiring. I don't know that that's going to be the most, oh my gosh, UPS is here. My meal delivery is here. Yes. Okay, so we'll continue because they'll deliver it. It's definitely a generational thing / the reality of the economy and stuff. I don't know at what age I'll be able to retire. I don't know what kind of income that I will have in the next 5 to 10 years and beyond. It will be interesting to see how that pans out for everyone. I anticipate living a very comfortable lifestyle, and we're approaching that direction. Definitely have to work for it. There's a sense of entitlement out in the world that it should be now for everyone, but it takes time, and that's okay. People forget that, and that bothers me. I have to remind myself of that, but it's okay to work towards a goal and work towards success. It's not overnight, although it can be, but not most often. So I actually don't have a specific date I plan to retire. And I'm a worker bee, so envisioning not working. speechless. I don't know what that would look like for me. Because I don't know. I've been working since I was 14, so I don't know what that would like. And then not just one job. Like, I've been working multiple jobs at the same time since I was 14 years old. So I know that won't always be the case, and I'm sure stress at some point will catch up to me in a way that's like, you've got to slow down. And maybe that's me retiring. But I also know these days, like, people retire and start a new career. And I think they look at it as retiring because they're over a certain age, but it's like, you can reinvent yourself at any age. You can start to do anything. I think, if anything, I would maybe not work so hard. I think maybe like me retiring would look at like, instead of 40 to 80 hours a week working, maybe it would just be like genuinely 20. Like, oh, it's delivered, hold on. All right, you guys, hashtag not sponsored. I got my EveryPlate. I'm trying this one out. I will let you know how it goes. Stay tuned for my next video. This will be on my personal channel, on my Blake, what is it called? Blake Does Things channel. Blake Does Reviews. Blake Does Meals. It'll be this. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited. I'm also hungry, so I'm excited to cook this up tonight. I got some good stuff. Okay, so back to Barbara Weatherman. Yeah, retiring. I don't know. I think that definitely looks very different for someone that's 67. I mean, even today, for those aged people. I think anyone, I think it's going to look very different for me than it does someone who's in their 50s and up. And it's going to look different for people that are 10 years, 15 years younger than me. So we'll see. We'll see what that looks like. And with that retirement question and the fact that my box just got delivered, that is going to be it in terms of the questions for today's part 1 video. Part 2 will be live next Friday on my new channel, Blake Does Things. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this video and this channel where you can catch all the reselling content. We will reformulate Friday videos for this channel. But just, I want to spice things up next week, so you can look for a video over there. I will probably throw up a reseller-ish vlog next Saturday on this channel, and you know, just we'll figure out the schedule of my second channel as we go along. It's also going to be, it's going to be hard to make 5 to 6 videos a week while still working and reselling, so we'll see how it goes. We'll start with a video a week to start, and that's that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Check out the links below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!